This is Google Drive. Google Drive is where you'll find documents that you have created, Google Documents, spreadsheets, presentations, drawings, or things that you've uploaded, such as Excel worksheets, Word documents, PDF files, or images. Over on the left-hand side, right below the Create button, where you'd create new things or upload documents, there's My Drive. That will show you a listing of all of your items. One nice feature is you can get more information about these items without opening them by clicking the checkbox and then clicking the eyeball preview button. The preview will give you in a sidebar an overview, a snapshot of that document, who has access to it, and if it's something you just created, it will be available only to you as the owner. Below that there is a description, and it's just a text box where you can type in whatever you want to describe this document, and then where the document is currently located, as well as some other information about the document. That preview button, again, check the box and then click the eyeball preview to access that. After you've been using Google Drive for a while, you may find a lot of documents and it becomes a little bit more difficult to find things. You can organize them by placing them into folders. From the Create button, there is a folder icon. And you can click on the Create button after giving it a name, and you'll see the folder listed in your items. To move something into a folder, it's as simple as drag and drop, or you can use the organize. So if I want to move this fall expenses Excel workbook, I can drag and drop it on expenses. Or you can check the box and click the organize button on the toolbar to put it inside of the expenses folder. The expenses item will then have all of those documents in it. Also, when you're looking at the My Drive, if you expand it, you'll see all of your folders listed there. If you're inside of a folder, up here the breadcrumbs are showing me I'm inside the expenses items folder. If I click Create, the item I create will be placed directly in this folder. I don't have to go move it afterwards. So if I create a new document, and if I look, I'll see that this document was placed directly in the expenses items document folder. And there it is. Another way to find things in Google Drive is to use the search. Up at the top you have the search box. The search box is going to begin searching for titles. So if I type expenses, notice that it's finding files or folders with the word expenses in it. And it's doing just a partial word. As I type, more and more will show up. If I press Enter, it will then search titles inside of documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and also the description field. Here it found some items with the word expenses in the title of the items. This document has the word expenses in it. And this document, if I look at the preview, that was the description I added previously with the word expenses. So that's another way you can organize things, is take advantage of the description field on documents, items, and other things. To share things, documents, items, spreadsheets, etc., with other people or folders, it's a simple specifying who you want to have access and what type of access you want to give. When you create, I have a document here that I want to share with everyone. I can check the box and then click the Share button on the menu bar. And right now it's private, Only I can edit this document and I am the owner. Down in the bottom I can choose to give someone else access. I will give Ellie Siqueiros access. I can choose what level. I'll leave it at edit. And then I might want to consider if I want to let Ellie give other people access. That is on by default, but if you want to change that, you can change it so that you, the owner of the document, can only change the sharing permissions. Again, that's on by default. I will leave it the way it is. And then here, up at the top, only people listed will have access. If I click on the change for the global sharing, that's going to allow me to give access to everyone on the internet, anyone that has the link, so it won't be in a directory anywhere. Anyone at the University of Minnesota can find it, and then only people at the University of Minnesota that have the link can find it. So I've added Ellie. I will include an email notification to Ellie so that she can find it. I can add a customized message if I want to, or it'll just be a system-generated message, and then share and save. I can choose to transfer ownership of documents. If you have a whole bunch of people or just one person, you can change the owner to that person. And then if I did so, then me, Leota, would be bumped down to can edit access. And I've shared that document now, so Ellie will have received an email, and it will also show up in her Google Drive shared with me list. Same thing with a folder. If you choose to share a folder and add Ellie, she can edit the folder and the contents thereof. She can also change the permissions of everything if she wishes. I will leave that the way it is. I'll send her an email and click Done. If you're sharing a folder with someone, then everything in the folder will be shared as well by default. If I go into one of these items in this shared folder and look at it, and this spreadsheet is now available to me as the owner, and then it inherited the permissions from Ellie because the folder was shared with Ellie. One caveat with that is that if you choose to move something out of a folder, then the sharing will not follow it. So this projects and expenses was shared with Ellie. If I click on the organize and then move it out of the expenses shared folder into my drive, when I click move, I will get a warning saying that if I move this, then people will no longer be able to see or find it. If I click move, there's my projects and expenses. If I look at the sharing for that, it's back to just me because I moved it out of the shared folder. I'll put it back in the expenses folder so that Ellie can see it. And that's that. One other thing about the searching for documents, if you click the drop down, you can limit the scope of the searching. So things that are just owned by you, things that have been shared with you, things that you opened, all sorts of other things. You can combine these over into many different things. So if you're just looking for documents that are owned by me, that I have opened. So you can combine all of these search things to winnow down the list to what you're looking for. And then if you want to get rid of one, here's all things owned by me that were opened by me. And then beyond searching, there's also sorting. Up here, each one of these is a link. If I click on title, it will sort things alphabetically. If you click on last modified, it'll put it in modification terms. And up at the top, you can see additional information. So last opened by me instead of last modified by me, by title, etc. So that's a brief overview of organizing searching and sharing for things in your Google Drive. Thank you very much.